Hello crochet friends, welcome to Crazy Cool Crochet. This is Sylvia, and in this project we are making a crochet floral lace top for women. And here is one of the completed main body panels, either the front or the back. They're both the same, but you can see the floral pattern all throughout. Very beautiful. Now this yarn is super stretchy and very flowy, which is exactly what we're looking for. So it doesn't look perfectly straight. Well, that's just because of all the stretchiness. Don't worry about that. The seams will take care of everything. This is very airy, open weave. You can style it so many different ways. And by using a number 2 yarn, like I have used here, Bee Yarntopia is a number 2, you'll get that super light, flowy look and feel. Now, aside from the yarn, you'll need a crochet hook. I used a 4.25. You'll also need a yarn needle, scissors, and a measuring tape might come in handy. Now, for more detail, you have to go down into the description box below the video. And that's where you'll find how much yarn was used, which, by the way, was very little yarn. Now, although I am showing this as a shorter top, you can make it longer if you prefer, simply by continuing to add rows. Now, you probably will need to block this or steam iron. So whatever is your preference, I never ever block anything, not any kind of a traditional blocking. So what I did was put a towel underneath and then place the panel on top and then a pillowcase on top of the panel. And then I took a hot iron, and you'll want to test. I have done this on so many different projects of my own and have not had any kind of a mishap whatsoever, but you'll want to test depending on the yarn that you're using. It should be fine though. And just to be certain, you might want to just do the steam. I do have a video that explains how I do that, so I'll leave that up on top and you can take a look at that. In case you are wondering why blocking is necessary for this project, it actually totally depends on the yarn itself. So this particular yarn, because it's a number 2 and it's very thin, and especially because of the flower pattern, it's very almost wrinkly, I want to say. So by steam ironing the way I suggested, you end up with a much nicer, flatter panel. And the flowers are very much visible here. So it does make a difference. Now we are going to start with the sleeve actually, which is pretty unusual. And I'm only doing that because the sleeve is smaller and it will be easier and faster for me to show you. All the panels are exactly the same as far as the pattern, the stitches. So you will need a back panel and a front panel. They will be the same, and then the 2 sleeves. So this is going to be a sleeve. So for size small, we're going to start with a chain of 67, 6-7. This uses a multiple of 10 plus 7 if you're going to change up the sizes. And I will, of course, give you the instructions for the various sizes throughout the video. Okay, so we're going to start with that chain of 67, and we're going to skip 6 stitches. So there's the first one that always shrinks up, so don't miss that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Skip 6. Then we're going to triple crochet. So yarn over twice on the hook. And then into the next chain, work a triple. Go through 2 loops, go through 2, go through 2. Now chain 3, skip 4 chains, 1, 2, 3, 4. In the next one, work a single crochet, chain 3, skip 4 chains, 1, 2, 3, 4. And the next one we're going to work a V-stitch. Now the V-stitch for this pattern is a triple crochet, chain 5, triple crochet in the same space. So yarn over twice for your triple, go into your chain, go through 2, go through 2, go through the last 2, chain 5. Work another triple in the same stitch. Go through 2, go through 2, go through the last 2. That's your V-stitch right there. Now chain 3, skip 4 chains, 1, 2, 3, 4, single crochet in the next. Chain 3. We're going to skip 4 and then do another V-stitch in the next chain. Yarn over twice, 1, 2, 3, 4. In the next one, work your V-stitch. Chain 3, skip 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and single crochet in the next, and then chain 3. Okay, so that's your pattern for this row. Just remember you are doing a chain 3 in between. Chain 3, single, chain 3, V-stitch. Chain 3, single, chain 3, V-stitch. Chain 3, single, chain 3, skip your 4, and then your V-stitch. So you're skipping 4 in between. So work that all the way down until you get to your last 5 chains. All right, we're at the end of row 1. And we worked our last single crochet, chain 3. We've got 5 chains left. Now we're going to do a triple into that last chain. Now we're going to chain 2, not 5, 2. 1, 2. Another triple in the same chain. Chain 4. And then we're going to turn. Now we're going to skip right over to that first single crochet and work the V-stitch. So going forward, we're going to be working our V-stitches into the single crochets of the previous row. And there's the hole where you will be working into. That's going to be a little difficult to see, but you'll feel your way. Okay, so a V-stitch into that single crochet, chain 5, Work your triple into that same single crochet, chain 3, then you'll skip right over to that large chain 5 space for a single crochet. Chain 3. Then you'll skip over to that next single crochet of the row below and work your V-stitch. Chain 5. Complete the V-stitch. Chain 3. Then you skip over to that next chain 5 space for your single. Chain 3. So that's your pattern for row 2. Work your V-stitches into the single crochet below, chain 3, work a single into the chain 5 space below, chain 3, V-stitch, chain 3, single, chain 3, V-stitch, single, and continue until we get to the end of the row. So now we've worked our last V-stitch of the row, chain 3. Now we're going to work a single crochet into that last space of the row. Chain 6. And turn. Now we're going to work a triple crochet into that last single crochet that we worked right there. Work a triple, chain 3. Now into that next chain 5 space, do your single crochet, chain 3. Then you'll skip right over to your single crochet from the row below, work your V-stitch, chain 3, go over to your chain 5 space, single crochet, chain 3, and continue on down the end of the row. Right now we are at the end of row 3. You would have done your last single crochet into that last chain 5 space, chain 3. Now here is where it's going to get a little bit tricky. And it's really not, it's a weird placement of our last or our next triple crochet. Okay, so yarn over for your triple, and we are going to work into the bottom. Remember that chain 4 space over here, or the chain 4 that we did? So at the bottom of that chain 4 is where we will work our triple. Now this time we're only going to chain 2 and work another triple into that same stitch. Now if you are finding if you think that this looks difficult, honestly, it's not at all. It's just, it looks difficult when I'm doing it because of my awkwardness with the camera and the tripod and the way I have to hold things. But once you get into the routine, it's really quite easy. Isn't that pretty though, how it's working into the flower motif? Okay, so now at the end of row 3, you're going to chain 4 and turn. And now we're going to go into that first single crochet of the row below for the V-stitch. So now what you're actually doing is repeating row 2. So all along this row, you're repeating row 2. You know how to do this. V-stitch, chain 3, single crochet, chain 3, V-stitch, chain 3. And when you get to the end, you're going to have that chain space right there. You're going to work a single crochet into there. Now this is one of those patterns that I found to be much easier to work from the written pattern, rather than trying to go back through the video tutorial, go back to row 2 and repeat that, because your repeat rows are going to be rows 2 and 3. Okay, so row 4, you're repeating row 2. Row 5, you're repeating row 3. So if you want to make this faster and easier for you, I do encourage you to go grab up that written pattern at crazycoolcrochet.us.etsy.com. You will work the sleeve for 26 rows. And here is a tip for how to count the rows easier. So we're going to count by 2s. And you're going to start with a single crochet on the first row. Okay, so here's row 1. So row 2 would be the V-stitch. Row 3 would be the single crochet. 4 is a V-stitch. So if you go 2 is that first V-stitch. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, and you will end on a V-stitch of row 26. So I hope that helps. I found that super fast and easy to count that way. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. For the main panel, you will start with a chain of 87 for size small. You will work the pattern exactly the same as for the sleeves. And again, you will work for 26 rows. So you'll need 2, one for the front, one for the back. After you have completed all of your panels, we are going to seam the front and back panel at the shoulders. So you'll want wrong sides up, right sides are touching each other. You determine the right side by the tail of the foundation chain. So this was the foundation chain, here's the tail. So that's the right side. And this is the wrong side, facing up. Now you'll want to determine the width of your neck opening. I'm using about a 7-inch wide opening, or long. So that leaves me with 6 inches on each side for the shoulders. So you'll want to use your yarn needle and a length of yarn, attach it at the outer corners. You just pull this through. I like to do a little knot, regular old knot. And then I'm going to use a whip stitch. So you'll want to match up your stitches here. So there's a V-stitch and there's a V-stitch. Okay, so you'll go through 2 strands of each panel. So you're going under the little chains at the top. So you go around the back and to the front. Around and through the front. So you probably would have wanted to put a stitch marker at the end of your shoulder so that you know where to stop. I should have done that. I forgot to do that. Now, I usually just use a contrasting strand of yarn as a stitch marker. So that's it. Just do that until you reach your stitch marker and do the opposite side. The next thing you want to do is splay open the front and back panel. Then we're going to seam the sleeve to the body at the shoulder. So this is the top of the sleeve panel, that's the bottom, wrong side up again. Determine the center of that sleeve, line it up at the shoulder, the center. And again, you can use a stitch marker. And you're going to seam, again, using the whip stitch from here to there. Do the same on the opposite side. Now, after you have seamed the sleeve to the body, you're going to fold the panels. I have not done my seaming yet. And you will seam with the same whip stitch from the bottom hem to the underarm and then along the bottom of the sleeves. And here is the completed crochet lace flowers top. This is something that you will be proud to wear and show off your skills. And it's super trendy, really stylish. So be sure to let me know down below in the comments your thoughts on this, if you're going to make it, what color you're going to go for, and if you'd like to see more of these types of crochet designs. And of course, I do encourage you to come back for the next project. Thank you so much for watching.